Ayo, there's a really interesting article floating around from PC Gamer about a dedicated Destiny 2 raider. My Twitch chat asked me to read it on stream. Here's how that went. I ignored 10 tornado warnings to finish a D2 raid, didn't get the exotic drop, and disappointed my fiance. Is there some sort of lesson here? Last night, the city of Chicago issued 10 simultaneous tornado warnings as severe storms swept through the area. I know this because 1, I live in Chicago, and 2, I was fighting the Witness, final boss of D2's latest raid at the time. Now, you might think that as a literally late middle-aged man, as soon as I was informed about the tornado situation, I immediately downed my rocket-powered sidearm, wished my teammates well, and disconnected. After that, my partner, our puppy Jelly Bean, and I huddled in the bath to avoid falling masonry or hunkered down in the bedroom cupboard, which I was later informed is even safer. Reader, let me tell you.
That is not what I did.
Wow. I kept playing, and honestly, I didn't even think that hard about it. Regular readers of the site may recall that I am a hopeless degenerate when it comes to Destiny. I've been playing for the entirety of the series' decade-long existence, racking up so many thousands of hours that I'm no longer comfortable admitting the exact number. Don't be a bitch. Look, come on. Embrace this shit. 8,450. And that's only on Steam. I've got extra hours on console. Come on. I wish I could even tell you that this was my first completion of the Salvation's Edge raid and therefore meant something special to my team. But no, according to Raid Report, it was my 11th clear and the 3rd run of the week, hastily squeezed in before today's weekly reset. As you probably also gathered, I'm an absolute goblin when it comes to raiding. It's my favorite activity in Destiny. And yet you only have 11 clears. For context, I had to run the vow of the Disciple raid a whopping, 69 times. Not nice. Before looting its exotic, eventually resorting to LFG because my teammates had long since got everything and abandoned me. Okay, I take it back. This guy's a real player. During the penultimate encounter before the Witness, my neighbor knocks at my window. We live in the basement. Shocker. Half of a duplex. Why am I roasting this guy so much? I don't even know this guy. He's trying to tell me something. I gesture sadly in my headphones, making the universal making the universal hand phone gesture to explain I'm on a call and go back to dunking shapes in the Verity encounter. So let me get this straight. Before we keep reading, this dude, a neighbor is pounding on the window in panic. And rather than being like, oh shit, like, are you okay? What's good? Is everything okay? Just be like,
I can't. I'm in the very
counter.
I need to make a cone.
There are 10 tornadoes. At least 10 tornadoes. One is near here. How are there 10? Wow. Twister's advertising campaign popping off out here. Glenn Powell really pushing for big movie numbers. The neighbors are scared and probably going to come down to shelter. Wow, I mutter okay before gesturing to the screen and saying, I'm not stopping, final boss. She counters that the power is already out across a chunk of the city, to which I respond with a shit-eating grin. It ain't out here. Wow. I completely understand if you have now lost whatever respect you might have had for me. But look, the Witness is not a hard encounter at this point. It's really not. And we have been cooking all night. I'd be done in minutes. One wipe later. I see wiped. The encounter's really not that hard. Famous last words. By now, my teammates have overheard the situation. And as is the case for any well-drilled group of regular online gamers, are making bad taste jokes about the situation. Yeah, I would be too. Yes, some also express mild concern, but tellingly, no one actually suggests that I stop playing. This is the most Destiny thing I've ever read in my entire life. How often does central Chicago get torn up by tornadoes anyway? I was just wondering that. Are tornadoes common? Because the way this dude is acting is like, oh, tornado? Just another Monday night. Credit to the boys. On the second attempt, the witness gets dumpstered in 2 phases. Was my damage competitive? Absolutely not. Did I die a couple of times due to inattention? 100%. But neither of those things are unusual for me, even without the inclement weather, which still just looks like heavy rain to me. In the couple of seconds it takes for the loot to drop, I tell myself I'm definitely going to get euphony because it'll make for a cool story. It doesn't drop. Instead, I get a sniper rifle that I do not need. I say I'm out, hoping it sounds cool and everyone wishes me well as I hit Alt F4. Not much later, the TV announces the storm has passed out onto the lake and the imminent danger is over. One of my teammates texts me, "Stay safe, mate," which is actually touching. Everyone goes their separate ways, and I'm left wondering what is to be learned from that night. My sister, who also lives in Chicago, suggests that maybe we weren't scared because tornadoes aren't a thing in the UK where we're from, and therefore we have nothing to gauge them by. She may be right, but I have seen the movie Twister several times. Honestly, the real story is this. Bungie's raid exotic drop rates still really need to be revised. That's the story. Not that you're a fucking donut who needs to learn to better prioritize important life activities. I secretly love this guy. It's ludicrous that multiple of my teammates have had euphony drop twice, while I could be waiting for a potentially infinite amount of time. That and a family is what matters most. And I can only imagine the tongue lashing you would give me if it was like, oh my god, there's a fucking hurricane. Like, we have to, like, tornadoes never come into Virginia. We got to get out of here. Like, I'm actually in the Verity encounter. I need to make a sphere. I can hear fucking cows flying around. Just like 5 minutes. We've already wiped on the witness once. It's the most Destiny thing I've ever read. Man. Whatever that guy did, he must have a bunch of really goodwill built up in this relationship. I applaud the apparent strength of this relationship. Good Lord. And by that I mean the relationship that this man has with Destiny 2.